It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I am already laughing, which bodes well. One of my absolute favorites, South Africans, human beings on the planet. Why? Because he disrupts wherever he goes, and he is just ridiculously funny. His social commentary is unsurpassed. Mark Banks is here to bark, and he will be doing it from the 28th of February at the Theatre of Marcellus at Empress Palace in Johannesburg, laughing all the way to the banks, in fact. You have that look of someone who's laughing his way to the banks.
Thank you.
So good to see you.
You too.
And connect properly, because
too.
we haven't had many opportunities to do this in our long lifespans in TV. But I love the fact that you are here to call us all out.
Here we are, here being a disused furniture showroom.
Exactly.
In a would-be design centre in Johannesburg. I thought I was flying to Cape Town for this.
I'm sorry, I know.
I said, yes, I'd love to be on Expresso. I'll get a trip to Cape Town. And they came to pick me up this morning in the tuk-tuk. I thought to take me to the airport. They said, no.
Have you got your bags sitting right there?
My bags, everything packed.
You can change outfits if you want.
We're going to Four Ways. I said, no, it's Expresso. We're going to the airport where I'm going to Cape Town. I said, no, it's in Four Ways.
Listen, the design quarter is about as Cape Town as Joburg can get. This is pushing it as far as we can.
Right. This is obviously one of the storerooms for all the other stores.
For our beautiful stuff, man, to get the FOMO.
It's incredible. And the way the fridge just blends with the couch with the open plan.
It's bespoke. That's what we call bespoke.
Bespoke.
Now,
that's the new word.
Do you go around your day, is everything potentially cannon fodder for you? Because I would imagine that mechanism must be so finely tuned by now. How do you build a set when everything makes you laugh or makes you concerned?
I honestly don't know. I've had it since childhood, and I was never the class clown. I've just always seen the obstacles and speed bumps that come along, and I don't see it as a hindrance. I thought, how do we make that funny? Where there's got to be a joke in that. There has to be humour.
It's the human way. It's the human nature. It's how we survive these things, I think.
Well, it's like the man the other day who killed both his parents, who pleaded with the court to have sympathy with him because he was now an orphan.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh at home. Don't laugh.
You couldn't make that up. Are we going out now? Is this live? Are we going out? Oh, sorry. Are we on?
We are always on, my friend.
The lights on the cameras don't work. You need a red light that comes on. They don't work, do they?
He says this, but he knows. He absolutely knows. When you then have to, and I'm going to use that word again, curate. Now all of this humour into a set.
Yes.
What does that look like? How much room do you leave for the banter and for this crazy genius to just come out its cage? Or do you have a script? How do you approach?
No script, and that drives everyone up the wall. That you've no idea. That's been such a hindrance in my life that I don't have a script, because 50% of my show is off the cuff, interacting with the audience, interacting with what's going to happen. I can't stand on a stage and if a 300-ton ice bucket
I'm suddenly all the lighting guys rolling their eyes at you.
Gets poured into 7 other ice buckets and 3 phones start ringing and a nun runs across the front of the auditorium and falls, you can't ignore it. You have to go with that.
Please say that's in one of the shows.
It happened on Tuesday night, funny enough.
No, actually, I will call you out here, because in one of the articles I read, and I don't know if it's your amazing PR company just putting out maybe a disclaimer of sorts, but you literally list about 50 things from World War III to medical aids to caring for Hardy-Dars.
Yes, very important. And this, where we are now in Four Ways, this is Hardy-Dar NATO headquarters.
Listen, Pharrell even got Hardy-Dar, okay, when he was out here. Do you find that you have to kind of set the tone before you do these sets? Because you are, in a very woke world, someone who feels rocks for anyone on any side, because you are there as a social commentator.
Yes.
You're not a bias in any way beyond the people that you're speaking to. How do you navigate those waters right now?
Well, you have to, you obviously keep ready material up your sleeve for that eventuality, and if that happens, you say that. But you know why Hardy-Dars scream the way they do when they do that?
Pain. It must be pain.
It's because, no, it's not pain. They are terrified of heights. Did you know that? They are absolutely petrified of heights, but they only realise that once they get up there. And when they're up there and they look down, that's why you will never see, whenever you see a Hardy-Dar on the edge of a building, it never looks down.
It always just, it's in denial. And then the ones on the ground, are they screaming out of fright for the ones that are on top? So they're like,
Yeah,
off
it's
the
just
top of the
that,
building.
it's a catharsis that they go through. It's their own fear that they're working through, which is what I think we have to do. What I do performance-wise, interacting with the audience, I can only work with an audience who knows what I'm talking about or who can relate to what is going on around. So I'm really holding up a mirror to identify with them and their fears and foibles and what they're talking about. And I get most of my comedy from listening to other people's conversations.
Do you feel it is a responsibility? And I'm sorry to get all deep and dark here for a second. I know.
Early for a Friday
but
morning.
The world is going crazy right now. You can turn on the news, watching the news, listening to Donald Trump, President Donald Trump's response to this terrible... This is the world that we live in here.
Yep.
Is your voice absolutely necessary? And how does that play out in the show?
I don't think my voice is necessary, but I do think that if you can laugh at anything, that will help you get through the speed bump, the obstacle that's in front of you, the fear. We laugh out of fear, ultimately. We laugh at the person who slips on a banana skin because it hasn't happened to us. It didn't happen to us. It happened.
It just makes us feel a little safer. Yeah.
It happened to them.
I love the fact that you have a show. 50% you know.
I do too. It's all I can do because I can't do anything. I don't even have a proper education. You should see my writing. You should read one of my letters.
That's why you don't write down scripts, is because you can't read them after the fact.
People think it's a ransom note. They think I'm trying to kidnap them. When they read what they've got, oh my goodness, we'll pay the ransom. I said, no, that's a sketch I wrote.
Well, now you've given your audience some ideas here. So for the uninitiated, if you can sum it up without listing the 25 things that you might or might not talk about, but what do you think people will get? Because we do need a laugh at this time of the year, coming out of the last few years. What will people get out of the show?
What will people get out of the show? The people will get a laugh. They'll get a laugh at other people. They'll certainly get a laugh at me, hopefully. And I always try and introduce new things, current news items. I have quite a lot of props. I have quite. Are we on that camera as well? There's somebody waving from over.
Oh, just a fan. It's just a fan.
It's a customer trying to buy a lounge suite, wondering what's going on. And well, it's where people live. And these days in woke society, comedy's got even more obstacles in it because you can't say anything about sex, religion. You can't say anything about color, creed, beliefs. Where people live, demographic. I mean, it's just absolutely terrifying. That's why the show is only 4 minutes from start to finish.
No, that's the scripted part is only 4 minutes. No. The other 2 hours and 55 minutes is off the cuff. No, you're a genius, and I'm so glad. You might not think it's a necessary voice, but...
What, genius?
Yes, you're a genius. We have a few of those on set, but I am so happy that you are here and that you are doing this. Yeah, no, that's our director.
I have a cottage to let in Johannesburg, if anyone's interested. Does this go out to the whole of...
Sini's just put her hand up. Yes. If you want more of this, if you want to plug in and get to the source, Ticket Pro is where you can find not a garden cottage, but rather tickets to Mark Banks' show. And it's on from the 28th of February. You can see it at Monte Casino. It's going to be an absolute blast. I can promise you that because I've had 5 minutes with him.
And there's no interval. There's no interval in the show. Absolutely no interval.
Anti-woke, no interval. You can decide for yourself.